Good morning, student. Welcome to the today's class. We are going to discuss about behavioral modeling. It's continued. It's a part 3, I think so. In the last class, we have seen that we would like to describe 4-bit universal shift register. So what we have said that, so this has to operate for parallel loading operation it has to do. Next one, it has to do shift left operation, it has to do shift right operation and holding operation. So in order to do this, for this we need to know that the block diagram for this one. Of course, in order to do the parallel shifting, parallel loading, the data is required, that is called DAN. For example, it's a 4-bit size, and we should get D out, that is also a 4-bit size. Okay, so for simplicity, I'm writing instead of D, Q I will write. Okay, Q. Instead of DAN, I'll write D input, data input is D. Okay, and this is actually a sequential circuit. Therefore, there should be a clock signal. There should be a reset signal. Okay, whenever we are doing the shift left shift operation, right shift operation, the vacant positions at LSB or maybe MSB that are filled with serial data, whatever the data that we want to give. Okay, so for that one, we will write it as a serial in SIN. Okay, and we want to get the serial out is serial C out. So these are that means whatever the coming out of the box, okay, out of that material, out of that register, that will be traced by C out. Okay, whether it is LSB side or whether it is in a MSB side, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is actually the basic. Of course, it has to perform 4 operations, right? Therefore, it should require a selection line that is called SCL of size 2-bit size. Okay, if it is a 2-bit size, it can trace 4 possible operations. Okay, fine. So let us write a program for this one by using the behavioral modeling. Of course, I will give you the basic background, how to construct, how do we design this a 4-bit universal shift register. Then you can write it as an assignment. You take it as a homework, write it in the structural modeling, but I will discuss here is behavioral modeling. So if you want to write the structural modeling, first we should know the basic fundamental for this one. Okay, so for example, you consider there is a register is something like this. Okay, so consisting of 4 bits kada. Then we can use the separate spaces 1, 2, 3. So here is actually the register. The content is Q0, Q1. This is called Q2, and this is called Q3. Okay. So therefore, the content of the flip-flops. So if you consider one box is a one flip-flop, another box is another flip-flop. Like this, 4 bits means 4 flip-flops are required. Okay. Each and every flip-flop, okay, is filled with based on these particular operations, right? So what is the first operation it has to do? Parallel loading. So the parallel loading means what? The parallel loading means the Q0, and that means this flip-flop, Q0 flip-flop, or I can simply say that I'll say one word. Instead of writing the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, okay, better write it in that way only. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, I'm writing the flip-flop 0, is a flip-flop 1, this is flip-flop 2, it is flip-flop 3, right? Now, so in the parallel loading, flip-flop 0 is filled with What value? It is filled with D naught. Everybody knows that. It's a for D is actually a 4-bit size. First LSB of the D naught is assigned to first flip-flop, second flip-flop, third flip-flop, fourth flip-flop. So therefore, the flip-flops contents are something like this, right? The flip-flop contents are something like this. Are you agree with me? Okay. So this is observed for S is equal to 0, 0 operation. Now for S is equal to 1, 1, what has to happen? The second case, left shift operation has to perform. Okay, left shift operation means the data has to move, 0, 1 kada ikkada 0, 1. Left shift operation has to perform. So what is the content of this flip-flop now? Okay, first operation is performed. It's okay, fine, leave it. Okay, so what is the LSB is filled with? Left shift operation means on this side, this is side we have to move. Okay, so the first bit is filled with SIN, okay, serial in data. Okay, and what is the content of the flip-flop? Generally the output we will write here. So better notation is that the output we will write here. So this is called Q0 is output, Q1 is output, Q2 is output, Q3 is output. That is general notation that we normally write. Okay, now the Q0 will be occupied at this position, right? Q1 is assigned here and Q3 is assigned here, sorry, Q2 is assigned here, and Q3 will be outside. So therefore this Q3 is filled with, is taken by C out, okay? The C out is filled with Q3. Are you agree with me? Okay, C out is a one output variable. There we are going to take the value of that one, okay? So that's what we can see. Similarly, if S is equal to 1, 0, for example, that means we are talking about the third operation. So what we can observe then? What we can observe then? What is the content of the flip-flops? The content of the flip-flops are, this is actually SIN. Here SIN will be there, okay? So SIN is actually here SIN. Serial in data is now available here. Actually, this is a vacant position that is filled with zeros in general, but for the sake of identification, we are using the serial in data. Okay, now this is actually filled with Q3 here. This is Q2 here and Q1 here. Okay, and now the holding operation. The last one is holding operation that can be observed at 1, 1 assignments assigned. The fourth one. So what is the fourth operation here is now? One, two, three. So therefore the holding the data means the previous value only it has to hold. Okay, therefore this is called Q3 as it is, Q3, Q2 as it is, Q1 as it is, Q0 as it is. Okay, so that's how we can write. So shall we write this diagram then? It's very easy to write. Okay, that means we need to know that, see here, carefully observe this point. So of course, since it is a register, the flip-flops are there. Okay, okay, these are the flip-flops. How many flip-flops are there? 4-bit register means 4 flip-flops are there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fine. Okay, 4 flip-flops are there. So this is called flip-flop 3, flip-flop 2, flip-flop 1, flip-flop 0. Okay, so therefore the output of this one is, for example, here. I think better to take this as the one input. This is the D input. This is the D output. D input, D output. D input, D output. D input, D output. Okay, and every flip-flop has got a clock signal. Every flip-flop has got a reset signal. Okay, so therefore everything as usual. So this is Okay, this is the clock, this is the clock, this is the clock. Similarly, reset signal is also observed here at this point. Okay, fine. Okay, so now we have to assign the DAN signal it differently. Okay, so what is the DAN signal? Actually, the input of the flip-flop will assigned one time by directly DAN signal, one time by SIN signal, another time by Q signal, other time by Q naught signal. Okay, the second time also this will be defined by D1, Q naught, Q2, Q1, something like this. It will be doing this one. Okay, that means that the input of the flip-flop is changing by 4 values. For example, sometimes I need to use D naught. Okay, sometimes I need to use SIN. Sometimes I'm going to use Q naught, Q1. Sometimes I'm going to use Q naught. Okay, 4 input will be assigned to only 1 output. So what is the suitable device that I can use here? 4 inputs are there at a time, only one will be considered as an output. Okay, so as everybody knows that it is simply a multiplexer, right? It is simply a mux. It's a mux. 4x1. Okay, so this is the one input here, this is the one input here, this is the one input here, this is the one input here. So this will go as an output to this one. It is going an output to this one, provided that there should be a selection line. Okay, there should be a selection line. Yes, here. So 2-bit size selection line, right? I hope you can understand this point. Okay, so similarly here also the same notation. Okay, so here also we should have one 4-bit multiplexer. Here also we should have a 4-bit multiplexer. Here also we should have a 4-bit multiplexer. So what is the content for this flip-flop then? 1, 2, 3, 4. So first one is D1 has to be the input for this one. Here you can Q naught. Here is Q1. Here is here is Q2. So Q2 and here is Q1, right? So this will be connected as an output to this one. And the same selection line will be assigned to this multiplexer also. Okay. Similarly, what is the input for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the thing? So D2. Okay. D2 is one input. Next input is Q1. Next input is Q3. Next input is Q2. So where we are getting the Q1, Q2, this is the one actually. This is called Q3. This is called Q2. This is called Q1. This is called Q0. I think we forgot to write. The F0 is filled with this particular data, right? S0 is filled with this data. Okay, S0 is filled with this data. Unfortunately, I connected there here. So I want to remove this one. This data should be there. Next to Q1, next to Q0. So Q0 is actually coming here. Actually, Q0 will come here. Okay, so for the sake of complexity reduction, so I'm using this. I'm not going to use this statement, this connection. Okay, Q0 is meant for Q0 from here. Okay, similarly for this one is D1. This is for this is actually D1. This is Q0. This is Q2. This is Q1. Similarly, what about this one? So D2, Q1, Q3, Q2. What about the last one? First D3 is assigned here. Fine. Next Q2 is assigned here. Next SIN is assigned here. And then Q3 is assigned here. Right. So therefore that's how it will be working. All these are having the same. So now this will be this is connected to this one. Okay, that's how. So therefore these things are all coming outside. Okay, therefore this is called Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0, right? So this is the block diagram for the 4x1 universal 4-bit universal shift register. Of course, we know we have to write the 4x1 multiplexer separately, and normally we use a D flip-flop. Okay, normally we use D flip-flops. Okay, so I think better to write here is D flip-flop. D flip-flop, D flip-flop, D flip-flop, and D flip-flop. Okay, I hope you can understand this point. Okay, if S is equal to 0, 0, one case I'm going to write. If S is equal to 0, 0 means this particular, this one is will be selected. Please observe, this Dn is selected, this D1 is selected, this D2 is selected, this D3 is selected. So S is equal to 0, 0, the parallel loading of the information is happening there. Okay, are you agree with me? If S is equal to 1, 1, for example, sorry, 0, 1, what will happen? Second positions are selected. So in that situation, this will be selected, this will be selected, this will be selected, this will be selected. So therefore, what is happening there in that one? Shift left operation will be performed. So if the flip-flops are filled with associated data, based on the data, we can say that whether it is a right shift, left shift, holding information, or maybe parallel loading of the information. Okay, so please try to do it at your home as a homework by using the structural modeling. I'm going to use behavioral modeling with the help of a simple statement. Okay, so the logic, so whatever it is the logic that I have mentioned here, the same logic that I'm going to use here, but I'm going to use, what is this? Yeah. With the help of behavioral modeling, okay? Let us write a module. So behavioral modeling. Using the case statement I'll use, okay? So case statement I'm using. So far we have seen a different if statement we have already seen. Assignment statements, all the other things we have seen. Let us use the case statement, okay? So let us write a module here. It's a universal shift register underscore 4-bit. What are the variables that we have seen? D, clock, reset, next SIN, okay, serial out, next Q is also there. Am I right? I think these are all the things. Yeah, selection line is also there. Selection lines, SCL, comma, Q. Okay. Next, what are the inputs here now? Inputs are same size, clock and okay, clock, comma, reset are the same size, and SIN also the same size. But another input size is 3 down to 0 of D. Okay. Okay, 3 down to 0 of D. This is. Next one is another input is 1 down to 0 of S. Selection line. Okay, that's fine. Next output I need to mention. Okay, output. What is the output here now? Single bit data cout is there, right? Okay, but another output is output register 3 down to 0 of Q, right? So let us write an always statement. Always at the rate of pause edge of the clock, okay, and pause edge of reset signal what has to happen? If reset is true, I want to make all the content of the flip-flops are equal to 0, 4 bit of all zeros. Okay, I want to clear the content of the flip-flops. Now else, now it's depending upon the positive edge of the clock. Else statement is there, then I'm going to write begin here and here. So if reset is not there, else statement will be executed, that too depending upon the passage of the clock. Okay, so there I'm going to write a case statement here. Case output depending upon what factors. So what is the case that we are talking about? Simply a selection line. Simply a selection line, right? Excuse me. Now, so if the selection line is equal to 2 bit of 0, 0, so this is what the syntax. If the selection line value is equal to bit of 0, 0, what is the output should be? The Q is assigned by, what is the value? DAN kada, sorry, D signal kada, assign avalsindi. Are you agree with me? Somebody should give the response. Whatever the first statement that I have written, is it clear to all of you? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
What is the next statement? What is the next statement? If the selection line is equal to 2 bit of 1, okay? If the selection line is equal to 0, 1, apne jaragali left shift operation. Previously that we have seen, Q is equal to, what is the left shift operation? Concatenation of left shift operation ante em jarigindi. So therefore these positions are, sorry, I forgot. It's not a left shift operation, it's right shift operation. This is not a left shift operation, this is a right shift operation, okay? Right shift operation. So this is actually left shift operation, shift left operation. So anyway, I'm going to consider for that one only, okay? So the first one is right shift operation. For the right shift operation, what are the things that I have to consider? Q of 3 down to, so what is the way I have to consider? I have to consider.
So that left shift है क्या?
Sir, shift left है क्या sir?
Left shift चला तो right shift.
Yeah, it's shift left operation. Sorry for that, I confused. Okay, shift left operation only. Okay, in the shift left operation, what I have to do? The first position filled with LSB is filled with SIN. Okay, so the first one is filled with SIN. Okay, next, what about the remaining positions? These are filled with 1 down to 2. Ante kada? So that is actually 2 down to 1. What are the contents that are available? No. It is from 0. Okay. So therefore, from 0 to 2 will be occupying the position of 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's all. Now, what is the next one? 2 bit of 0, 1. Of course, here also we can write the relation information, the information related to S out also, right? So ikkada em chestarante comma betti, okay. So S out is equal to Q of 3. S is equal to Q of 3. Okay. So this is how I can write. So since two statements kada ikkada manaki unnai, if it has got two statements, better to write begin and end. Like begin and here we need to write. Okay, clear? Next, we write again the same statement here, the begin. What is the Q value? Q is equal to SIN comma q of 3 down to 1. Therefore, S out is equal to q of 0 will be taken here. Okay, and module. Lastly, 2 bit of 0 1, sorry 1 1, sorry the 1 0 kada 1 0 1 1. So next q is assigned by q itself. Okay. So finally, AND case, there should not be any kind of space, and then we can write AND. Finally, AND module. So begin రాసినప్పుడు AND రాయలే కదా. So I am considering this is the only one statement, if statement, if else statement. అందుకని ఇక్కడ begin and రాయలేదు. Okay. So therefore అందుకని ఏం చేస్తాను AND module directly I will write AND module. Please remember the point. So since cout is we are writing inside of the always statement, therefore it is also necessary to write it is a register data type. Okay, reg sout. Don't forget to write like that. Okay. Is it clear? So that's how we can write it in this one. For example, sout, if you don't want to take it, don't write that one. If you want to write it, if you want to take the what is the S3 output, you can obviously trace that point also. Okay. So this is the universal shift register program. So let us quickly move on to the next one. That is counters. So realization of the counters. Write a Verilog program. For ripple counter. So ripple counter. Okay. So how the ripple counter look like? Let us write. Okay. So for example, a counter is a device which can count the number of clock pulses. As simple as that. It has got only one clock signal as an input. Okay. And it produces an output called Q that's depending upon the size of the counter. If it is a ripple counter, it is a 3-bit size it should be. Okay. So that means it is a 3-bit counter actually. So 3 counts that 8 counts it can do. Okay. That means whatever the size of the Q size will be written in the top of this one. Therefore, that value will give you the number of counts. That means 8 counts, 8 clock pulses it can count. Okay. So this is what we can. So the question is that what is the inside of this counter? Okay. Generally, we use T flip-flop for ripple counters or asynchronous count. Ripple counter or asynchronous counter, one and the same. Okay. So we have a counter something like this. So the clock will be assigned to only for the first clock only, first flip-flop only. This is the clock. So this is the flip-flop 0. This is the flip-flop 0. This is the flip-flop 1. This is called flip-flop 2. Okay. So, and since it is a T flip-flop, we have to insert a T flip-flop, T input that we have right here. So T input we have right here. T input that we have right. Okay. So that the output of this one is connected to, the clock of this one. Okay. The output of this one is connected to clock of this one. So that's what happening here. Okay. This is called asynchronous counter. So therefore this is called Q0. This is called Q1. This is also called Q2. Okay. So we'll find only the consideration is this one. So if this is want to be acting as a ripple counter, for example, it is necessary to consider that T input must be 1. T input must be 1. T input must be 1. If the T input is equal to 1 and we are giving the clock signal and provide the configuration or connection, something like this, then only it can do the counting operation. Okay. So this is what actually normally happening. So in order to, we don't know actually what is the content available in the flip-flops. If you are just like, if you're not using the RST signal, the contents of the flip-flops are unknown. Whenever you're incrementing the unknown will be the case. That's the reason why it is better to consider the reset signal as well. So all the flip-flop has reset signal. Okay. So with the help of the reset signal, I'm going to clear the content of all the flip-flops. First, I will clear all the content of the flip-flops. Then the flip-flop content will be known value that is equal to 0. And by giving the clock signal, the count will be happening. Okay, that's what we can say. So before writing this structural modeling for this one, first of all, we should know what is the T flip-flop. Okay, so T flip-flop is something like this. So we have a T input signal. Everybody knows that there is a clock signal, it's a memory element. D flip-flop that we have seen previously. Now we are talking about the T flip-flop. So what is the T flip-flop now? What is the operation? Of course, the reset signal and the clock signal, T input, Q output. Okay. So what is the output operation now? If the reset signal is equal to 0, okay, or I can say that first reset signal I want to make it 1. Okay, irrespective of the clock signal, DN signal, the output is equal to 0. If the reset signal is not there, if you have only the clock signal, that is a positive edge of the signal. Okay, so if the T input is equal to, for example, 0 is there, for example, okay, so the previous value will be obtained, that is the Q value will be obtained. Previous value means whatever the Q is, hold the information. For example, if the clock reset is equal to 0, but this one is the positive edge, okay. For example, it is 1, for example, then maybe T is 1. T is 1, the output will be Q bar. The output will be complementary of the previous value, okay. So in other case also, let us consider it is 0 for all other cases. What about the other cases? So whatever may be the T it is, whatever may be the T it is, the output value is equal to the previous value only. Okay. So this is what the basic logic behind the T flip-flop. Okay. So accordingly, we have to write the module program. Okay. So let us write a module here. Module T flip-flop. What are the things that we have? RST, clock signal, T signal, Q signal. So the inputs are RST, clock. Okay, it's an RST and a clock signal. Another input is, no, only one input is T also there, right? T also 1 bit size. T is also 1 bit size. The output is, since I'm going to use the register, that is a Q value that I will write. Okay. So of course, everybody knows that always statement we have to use at the rate of pause edge of clock, pause edge of the clock, and pause edge of reset signal. So negative resets కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు, బట్ సింప్లిసిటీ కోసం నేను పాజిటివ్ ఎడ్జెస్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను. సో యూజువల్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఏంటంటే క్లాక్ రిసెట్స్ రెండు కూడా నెగిటివ్ ఎడ్జ్ ఉంటాయి ఎక్కువ. ఓకే, నెగిటివ్ ఎడ్జ్ బేస్డ్ ఉంటాయి because of the power consumption related issues. Okay, but anyway, so let us write an if statement. If RST is true, for example, then what about the Q value? Q value is assigned by 1 bit of 0. Okay, I have cleared the content of the flip-flops. Okay, next, else. So that means reset is not there, but the clock is there. Moreover, T is there, for example. T is there. That means that I'll write here is the statement again. Else if T is there. Okay, if T is there, what is the Q value? Q value will be the complement of the Q value. Okay, else. If you're not writing the else statement, the previous value will be there. Okay, so if you want to write it, you can write it also. There is no issue. Else Q is equal to Q. Okay, so therefore here it is better to write an statement. This is the nested if I have written. Okay, ఒక if లోపల ఇంకొక else రాశాను, ఇంకొక else లోపల if statement రాశాను. Okay, nested if. Here also does not require any kind of begin and end statement in general. So therefore I want to end with this end module. So it's very important to know that first we have to give the reset value is equal to high. ఇక్కడ మీరు టెస్ట్ బెంచ్ రాసేటప్పుడు కంపల్సరీగా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇట్లా రాశారు అనుకోండి, క్లాక్ ఉంది ఇక్కడ, we have a clock signal. So for example, if you are writing the reset signal is something like this, we have a positive edge of the clock is there. Okay, so ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, మనకి పాజిటివ్ ఎడ్జ్ ఆఫ్ ద క్లాక్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు క్యూ వాల్యూ ఏముంది, నాకు క్యూ వాల్యూ అన్నోన్ ఉంటుంది కదా, క్యూ వాల్యూ అనేది నాకు అన్నోన్ అట్ దిస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైం, అన్నోన్. సో ఇక్కడ పాజిటివ్ ఎడ్జ్ వచ్చింది నాకు, దెన్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ హియర్? So positive edge, the previous value will be complemented again, it will be unknown value only. Okay, then Q value is equal to the reset signal is equal to high, then it will be assigned to logic 0. అట్లా కాకుండా ఏం చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే జస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బెటర్ టు కన్సిడర్ ఇన్ దిస్ వే. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ బెటర్ టు కన్సిడర్ ఇన్ దిస్ వే, ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, అప్పుడేమవుతుంది, మీకు ఇక్కడ నోన్ వాల్యూస్ 0 వస్తుంది, ఆర్ అదర్వైజ్ యూ కెన్ స్టార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, హియర్ ఆల్సో ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ యూ కెన్ స్టార్ట్. Okay, so therefore this value becomes a known value అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు whenever we have a find a positive, first positive edge of the clock, this will be happen. Okay, so ఒక ప్రికాషన్ ఇక్కడ తీసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది, the reset signal కంపల్సరీగా హై చేసి then we have to start the things, otherwise all the output will be complement, this value is equal to only 0 only, so unknown only. Okay, fine. So therefore this is the T flip-flop. Okay, so according to the notation we can write the structural modeling for this one. Okay, so please consider this is also homework and do the test bench as well. Okay, now I want to write the behavioral modeling for this one, the behavioral modeling. For example, 4-bit counter I am doing, 4-bit counter. Okay, so 3-bit counter కాకుండా నేను 4-bit counter తీసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, so what I have to do, I should know what is the top level module. My top level module is a clock signal. Okay, certainly there is a reset signal and I should have a 4-bit Q value. Okay, so up counting that I want to perform. Okay, so if I want to perform up counting means it can start from 0, next it will go to 1, next it will go to 2. Okay, so what is the maximum count that it will go? So on up to, what is the maximum value? 4 bits తీసుకుంటే 16 వస్తుంది. Okay, then after completion of this one it will go back to the 0. So this is the counting has to perform. Whenever the first clock I am applying here, first clock 0 count has to show, second clock this one, third clock this one, like 16th clock this one, and 17th clock again it has to go to 0. Clear? Now, so this is what we have to write now. So let us write a module here. So very simple, a counter underscore up. So what is the counter? What we need to know? Clock signal, reset signal, Q value, that's all. Next, what are the inputs here in this one? Inputs are clock and reset signal. What is the output here? Q. Okay, Q must be a 4-bit size, right? Q must be a 4-bit size. It's a register data type that also I want to write. 3 down to 0 of Q I want to write. Okay, register is also a keyword, therefore REG is a register keyword. Next, always statement I am going to write, always. Whenever you find a positive edge of the clock signal, whenever you find a positive edge of the clock signal, as well as, or maybe not as well as, or positive edge of the reset if you find, then the following things has to be happen. So here I'm writing, if RST is equal to true, then the Q value is equal to 4-bit of all zeros. So what is the first statement responsibility here is that I want to make the content of the flip-flops are known. Okay, next, else if the reset is not there, okay, and then we depending upon the clock signal, the Q value will be assigned by Q is assigned by Q of 1 bit of 1. So I want to add one value to the previous value. Whatever the previous, what is the previous value? Actually having all zeros I have filled with. Okay, I need to increment it by 1. Okay, so therefore, finally I have to go for N module. Is it clear? So therefore, this will be repeating process actually. Okay, so once it is coming, this is actually the count, the maximum count of the value. Okay, but the question is that do we have a specific counting is applicable or not? For example, here 16 clock 16 counts it can be done, and after that one it will come back to the 0 and again it will do that one. Can we specify that exact value of this one, or also we can mention? ఓకే అంటే మ్యాక్సిమం కౌంట్ ఎంత కావాలనేది కూడా ఇక్కడ మనం మెన్షన్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, నేను 16-bit కౌంట్ అన్నా అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 8 కౌంట్స్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ 0కి రావాలనుకోండి, దెన్ ఐ కెన్ డూ ఇట్ దేర్. ఒక 13 కౌంట్స్ చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ 0కి రావాలనుకున్నాను అనుకోండి, దెన్ వీ కెన్ డూ ఇట్. సో హౌ కెన్ వీ డూ దట్ వన్? ఓకే, సో దట్ వీ విల్ చెక్ నౌ హియర్. So different way that I'm writing the program because we are fixing the maximum count value. Here the maximum count time fix cheyaledu ikkada. So 16 count అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ again it will come back to the 0. Okay, so that will happen in this way. But now I want to say that when I can say here is a count maximum desired maximum count, we can write it. Desired maximum count. Okay. Okay. So what I can do is that, for example, I have a clock signal, I have a reset signal, I have a Q signal of 4-bit size. Now I can give something to this one that is called an N of a 4-bit size. So this N value will decide that the maximum count. For example, N can be, for example, 16-bit lo 2 counts chesi ayipovachu, 3 counts can be possible to stop, or at 8 counts that we can stop, 13 counts that we can stop, 14th count also we can stop, or 15th count also we can stop. Okay, therefore, if I want to make it at any point of time, I want to stop the counting, then I can use a variable called N. Okay, in the test bench, I can write N value so that it can count to that maximum count and it will come back to the 0. Okay, so therefore, in that situation, I can write. Okay, so here I'm going to use the ternary operator. Please look at the carefully. Module counter underscore up underscore maximum value. Okay, this is called a clock signal, reset signal, N and Q. Okay, now see here, input is clock signal, reset signal, another input is 3 down to 0 of N. Okay, output is down to 0 of Q, right? Now I'm going to write in this way. Always at the rate of positive of the clock, comma positive of reset, let us begin here. If reset is true, Q is assigned by 4-bit of all zeros. Okay, now else. Okay, now I'm going to write in this way. The Q is assigned by some value. Q is assigned by some value that is called a 4-bit of all zeros, or otherwise, sorry, So Q is assigned by this value, or Q is added with 1 bit of 1. Okay, so this decision where we need to consider depending upon the Q. If the Q value is equal to n value, for example, if the Q value is equal to n value, okay, then what has to happen? It must be 0. So otherwise it has to go to 0. It must be incremented. For example, n is equal to 5 and రాశాను ఇక్కడ. Okay, n is equal to 5 and రాశాను. Initially నేను ఆ రిసెట్ చేసి ఏం చేశానంటే Q is equal to 0 పెట్టేశా. Okay, initially I put 0 value పెట్టేశాను. Now what is the Q value right now? 0. Therefore 0 value is compared with 5. Is it true? It is false. Therefore it will be incremented by 1. Antena? Therefore 0 plus 1 will be their output. Therefore this value becomes 1. Now the Q is assigned with 1. Now Q is assigned with 1. So therefore the Q is equal to 1. Again it will be checked with 5. Is it true? No, it is false. Therefore again what it has to do, this value is incremented by 1. Therefore this value becomes 2. So the 2 is assigned with Q. Therefore 2 is assigned with Q. Q is checked with, again, for every positive edge we are talking about. Don't forget about that one. For every positive edge is happening. So then it's 5. Is it equal? No. Again 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. Now swan up 2 will go, 5 will come. 5 equal to 5. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Therefore does it do the increment? No. The fourth bit of 0 0 will be assigned this one. 0 0 0 will be assigned to Q. Okay, therefore we started with 0, go to 1, go to 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then after 5 it will come back to 0. So whatever the n value that you fix at the test bench, that value will be considered, right? So this is how we can control the maximum count value. Is it clear? Fine. A small modification we do here also, again, usual practice. So we do the end module. Ikkada kuda end avasam ledu actually ga, and begin and end avasam ledu, but only I have written. So end module. So count anedi count enable base cheskoni count cheste better anedi. What do you mean by that? Let us see. Count with count enable. Counter with count enable. Counter enable. What do you mean by this one? Just 2 minutes, please wait. I'll complete this one also. Okay. So for example, here we have seen that, yeah, there is a clock signal. There is a reset signal. Reset signal. We have an output is Q. One thing we have added here is that n bit of 4 bit of n that we have included, because in order to fix the maximum count. And we are going to use another additional input is called count enable, CE count enable. So when the count enable is there, then only counting and everything has to happen. If the count enable is not there, there is nothing has to happen. Okay, that means that we are giving the global enable signal in order to do the count operation. Okay, it's usual practice actually. Okay, so what does it mean? If the CE is equal to 0, for example, no operation has to perform. No operation. If the CE is equal to 1, for example, and the normal operation has to perform. Okay, that means depending upon the clock and depending upon the RST signal, the operations has to happen. So how do we incorporate this one in our program? So I'm going to consider this again. Copy. Okay. So here a small modification I'll do. So again, I need to include count enable also, CE, comma Q. Another input is, I'll write here separately, input is CE. Okay, for every positive edge of the clock, then the count enable has to happen. Okay, the counting has to happen depending upon the count enable signal. Okay, so I'm going to write here in this statement. Else if CE count enable counting operation has to perform. అంతేనా? ఇది జరుగుతుంది. కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ లేకపోతే ఆపరేషన్ ప్రీవియస్కి ఏదైతే వాల్యూ ఉందో అదే ఆ వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. Right? So that means I'm giving the priority for the count enable. Okay. So therefore, can anybody say that count enable is asynchronous input or synchronous input? Anyone from the class? Count enable is synchronous to the clock or asynchronous to the clock, depending upon whatever the thing that I have written here. Anyone from the class? So count enable అనేది ఇక్కడ చూస్తే మనం count enable is synchronization with the clock. Okay. So that means that according to the specification that I have written here, the normal notation that I have written. So normal way that I have written here. So but original requirement ఏంటంటే, so when there is a clock signal, of course RST is also there. RST is actually, see ఇక్కడ రాస్తాను. According to the point of view, RST is asynchronous to clock signal, whereas CE is synchronous to clock signal. CE is synchronous to clock signal. Okay, so ante meaning ఏంటంటే RST ఉందనుకోండి ఆపరేషన్ జరిగిపోతుంది, RST లేదంటే క్లాక్ వస్తుంది. క్లాక్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏం జరగాలి, కంపల్సరీగా ఎనేబుల్ హై ఉండాలి, కంట్రోల్ ఎనేబుల్ కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ హై ఉండాలి. కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ హై ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే కౌంటింగ్ ఆపరేషన్ జరుగుతుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ క్లాక్ లేనప్పుడు కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ హై ఉందనుకోండి, దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఆపరేషన్, అప్పుడు కూడా పాసిబుల్, దాని యొక్క మీనింగ్ లేదు. కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ డస్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మీనింగ్. సో ద కౌంట్ ఎనేబుల్ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఎ మీనింగ్ ఓన్లీ వెన్ ద clock signal is active high or clock signal is at the positive edge. Okay, so that is what I have written here. Please understand this one. So please consider the homework is for the, so ఇదే పాయింట్స్ యూస్ చేసుకొని just you have to do one thing is down counter, third one is up down counter. So the both things has to happen, up down counter. So write the program for these two also. So these things are there in the textbook, but please try to understand and write the test bench for each and every program. Okay, so the tomorrow will be the last class for the behavioral modeling. We focus mainly on the combinational circuits. Okay, some combinations, how to write the behavioral modeling for the combinational circuits, and delays and blocking and non-blocking assignment statements. So this information we will see in the next class. So thank you very much.